If you could change one rule within triathlon, what would it be? Even if it meant making that rule up. Well, we've gone and asked the pros just that. If you could change one rule within triathlon, even if it meant making a rule up completely, what would it be?
To be honest, nothing, of course. I would think of 1,000 rules that would favor me, like 20 meters draft zone, cut the swim to half. I would just like to see that the actual rules are getting enforced better than it is right now. I think the drafting rules are actually don't really need to change. It's just more of one of these cases where we actually have the right rules. They just need to get enforced without mercy. So it would be the best for everybody.
Definitely one off the top of my head would be actually lesser time penalties for drafting, because at the moment I think the penalties are too severe that referees don't like giving them, because it can completely ruin someone's race. 5 minutes in the pro race nowadays, especially in the 70.3, if you get a 5-minute penalty, it's game over. So I would actually say a 30-second stop and go penalty, just to break it up, and referees, I think, we're going to be a lot more likely to give a 30-second penalty because it doesn't ruin anyone's race. They can get back in there, but also it stops the drafting, and if they're more likely to do it, then hopefully we'll get fairer racing.
No wetsuit, please.
You don't like wetsuit?
No, I don't like wetsuit at all.
And if you could change any rule within triathlon, or even make one up, what would it be?
I would love to have a car behind me with a spare bike. That would be and I wish it was time trial. I wish the whole thing was a time trial and we were all just on our own. And I like the racing component for sure, head to head, but I wish it was exactly like a bike time trial, like swim, bike, and run, and we had a team car behind us and we could have all the help we wanted. I'd love to see something like that. That would be fun.
That sounds cool.
Individual starts, so that really everybody has to do it all on his own. And it's a little bit like back to the roots. So I don't know how to do it. Maybe you need a qualification system or a points ranking where you have any ranking that who is starting first and who is starting last. But then that everybody is just on his own out there and have to race against the clock. Yeah.
Probably the drafting, the draft zones, 20 meters at all races. 20 meters at Samarin was great. 20 meters we did a few years ago at Dubai and Bahrain, where it really changes the race. It's a much more individual, and it's supposed to be individual. All races should be 20 meters, and if they can't do it because of the course, then they should change the course or have the pros on a separate day maybe, or you're opening up a can of worms, yeah.
I think then it would be that we girls would have our own race. So maybe like what they do with some races, like the Ironman 70.3 Worlds, that you have the guys all race on one day and then the girls race on the other day. Yeah.
Okay, and so that would affect sort of the drafting issues and all sorts?
Yes, that would affect, like for example, when you take Challenge Roth now and like you have a girl like Lucy Charles. So we adjusted, and Challenge Roth is such an amazing team that they listen to our reasoning and like how we want to have a fair race. So they adjusted all the start times. So we're starting 3 minutes behind the pro guys and have our own start. But like now you have a girl like Lucy Charles that will just swim through the whole pro men field, and she will be out of the water all together with all the boys, and we will be totally riding on our own because all the amateurs are starting like 12 minutes or 15 minutes behind us, so we won't see them. And she will have also a lot of pro guys that will come from the back, and it's always an advantage to have people coming by, and then so yeah.
I mean, I quite like what they're doing here, that if you get a draft penalty, you have to run an extra K. So, yeah, I think that will stop people drafting.
I think it's fair to say drafting is the popular rule to be changed, and there were some really interesting options there. I wasn't actually expecting some of those. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop them in the comments section below. If you'd like to see more videos from GTN, just click on the globe and subscribe. And if you'd like to see another Ask the Pros video, just click down here. And if you'd like to see our unwritten rules video, just click down here.